Hello and welcome to another update video. So it's a day for requests. It's a day for requests. I'm going through a channel member requests. I do get a lot of requests for coins. I can't cover them all. I do certainly prioritize channel member requests, and even among them, I need to prioritize. But a lot of people ask for Luxo. This is the Luxo tether chart. We want to talk about it. It's not a super good, it's not a great chart, but we see some upside at the moment. Not entirely convinced about it, to be honest, but we have a certainly a very well-defined support level, and we have a possible 5-wave move off the low in 2020. However, these are, the upside here is a bit messy. It's not a clear 5-wave move, so we have a few possibilities here to count it. Well, the first problem we have with chart that looks like it, we could just count it as an ABC. That's a problem. Yeah, you can say, all right, I always need to mention that, right? A wave here, B wave, and C wave. Because it's a 3-wave move. You can clearly see that it's 3 waves, and then the move down looked quite impulsive. So that's a bit of a problem, yeah? And that always leaves room for doubt. But that's not my, it's not the primary expectation necessarily. The primary expectation has to be that this is the bullish count, because otherwise this asset would die and it doesn't really make sense to analyze it that way. So, but if we say ABC, it would mean, we came down in 5 waves, maybe a wave 1, we're now doing a wave 2 to the upside and will over time just die. That's possible. We have to talk about that possibility, especially because the move up here, because first of all, it's a realistic possibility for any altcoin, yeah. And then the move up is unfortunately a bit corrective, but we talk about that. So either way, there is a count to count it bullish. There's actually 2 counts to count it bullish. That would also be my primary expectation due to the strength of that move. So first idea is that we have a leading diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's always a bit unreliable. So the better count, in my opinion, would be if we say, and I'm disregarding this little bit here, this would only be important, later on, but we can count this as a wave 1 to the upside, here a wave 2, then 3, 4, 5. I would have to change the wave degree here. So there you go, like that. And we would have 5 waves up. We can take the current moment and opportunity here to actually take and calculate a target for the next all-time high. That would be, we go to the high of the wave 1, go to the low of the wave 2, and it would take us to at least, and that would be the absolute minimum target expected for the next all-time high, that is $47. So that means when we get to the next all-time high, we first of all will probably see a reaction at the $47 level, but that would be the absolute minimum that's expected for a wave 3, most likely higher. Next key target would be around the $57 level, and then we talk about 74. Yeah, so these are sort of the relevant levels, and maybe even higher, If we talk really long term, obviously when it's getting into an uptrend, these can do quite a lot, these altcoins. But see the targets only sort of as a guide, okay? And be, very important, if we consider this small pattern down here in 2020, this would be another 1-2 setup. So actually, when we have all this finished, these 5 waves, this would only be a 3rd wave done, then there would be another 4th and another 5. So that can push a bit higher if we follow the waves here. Okay, so let's say we bottomed here in a wave 2. What I really like, honestly, I really like it, is that let me just find the right low. So if I start the fibs basically at 0, go to the high of the wave 1, we perfectly hit the 88.7% fib level at 320. That's actually a sign of strength. Because a lot of coins drop below that level, and it is rare for a coin in the first real bear market to not drop below the 88.7% fib level. So if it now maintains that upside, that would be really good. That's really good. So yeah, we could at the moment carefully assume that a bear market low was made here in June, but really only very carefully, because we've got a problem. The move that's currently happening is not really impulsive. Yeah, it's not really impulsive, so that means we possibly have some kind of a leading diagonal here, where we say we had a wave 1, here a wave 2, and we might still be working on the third wave. But again, there's different ways of counting it. So the most optimistic count would be that we had here a wave 1, this was a wave 2, and this is another 1-2 setup. Certainly possible to count it that way, which means we have something like this. Okay, and then we go down one level here like that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern. That would most likely only become the first wave of that third wave. But now we have to talk about the subwave structure. So first of all, what is always important to understand, is this wave 1 in 5 waves? I think we can say it is. We have, however, a problem with this because it is only a diagonal in itself. You can see that it's 5 waves, but you get the wave 1 and the wave 4 had an overlap. But it's fine, the wave 1 can count as a diagonal. You often get that. This was an ABC to the downside in a wave 2. Did we hold critical support? It's always important to hold the 78.6 fib level, which we did, yeah. We broke briefly below the 61.8, but we did hold the 78.6. That adds a little bit of reliability. We could then count this as a wave 1, even though I don't really like these structureless moves to the upside. An alternative interpretation would be that this was a wave 1. We came down in A, this was an overshooting wave B, and the C in a running flat. Possible. But let's just go with this at the moment. This would then be another wave 1, here a 2, and we are now in a third wave to the upside, 4th and 5th. It would need to look somehow like that. That would be the breakout situation here, and how this coin could make a start in the bull run. Yeah, this will tell us which critical support levels now need to hold. I don't really have enough price structure to talk about what this is. I mean, let's first of all define a key target for that third wave in yellow. That's sort of what's needed next. And if we take the wave up 1, down in 2 here, and that's the problem. I remember that's sort of the concern I had, I think, because if I take the length of the wave 1, yeah, here we dropped to the 88.7% fib level. That is technically okay, but 85 to 90% of patterns that look like this will break. So also we see just now quite a strong move down, right? This move up, I can't help, but it looks in some way corrective. I mean, having a 1-2, 1-2 is never great. The chart now needs to prove that this is going to play out. And it now basically has a strong reaction where it really shouldn't have one. So it leaves room for doubt, okay? Yeah. Let's first calculate target for the third wave, what it should be. The 1.618, so it would need to reach 1357 as a minimum. Now we're not there yet. Okay, so we could then go one step deeper and say, okay, maybe we had a 1-2 here. Then you have enough waves to count this as a third. This might be a fourth, but it's quite steep. It's a bit too steep in my opinion. So it is quite impulsive, that move down. And now this has certainly reached minimum expectations, this small wave 3. And here we go. So this wave 4 now really must not drop below 827. Otherwise, this chart will lose a lot in credibility. It already has a few weaknesses. So we've got here this wave 2 that came down a bit too low, and this impulsive move down, which already just finding support at the 38.2 fib. So it could be that this wave 4, we have an A wave now, an impulse, there will be a B, and we come down in C, but it doesn't leave a lot of room for the C wave. So it's a bit concerning. Yeah, I'm just saying, below 827, this will become a bit messy and even more corrective. Yeah, so it's already a little bit unreliable because we have already only a 1-2, 1-2. Now that's fine, but then it would now need to deliver. It needs to deliver, and it basically just now, I can drop a little bit more, but above 827, it needs to turn around and put this third wave in. Then we should get a shallow fourth and push higher in a fifth of a third, and then we can take it from there. Yeah. But this is sort of imminently what needs to happen. The problem that you have now is that you can clearly see that we have a bearish divergence on the daily chart. It's certainly not bullish. Yeah, that leaves a bit of a that leaves a bit of a problem here on the chart. And also a bearish crossover on the daily MACD. So it's not really following through. And we have quite a bit of selling volume as well. So this is a count, yeah, that could take us higher, but it's not necessarily high confidence. It's tradable. Yeah, you could trade here the support area just above the 50% fib level. The problem is it shouldn't really drop below that, because if it does, I could find a way to count another 1-2 setup, but then you have 3 1-2 setups, totally unreliable. And then it leaves, then it opens the door for another dip down to lower lows, because it's unusual anyway that a coin holds the 88.7 fib level, especially if it's a first bear market. And then we would have to find a way to count it maybe as an, in this wave 2, A, overshooting B wave, C wave down, that this is some kind of a fourth wave. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we make one more low afterwards. Yeah, so this could just easily be correction. In this correction, we've got here the possibility that we say this was possibly an A wave. If we talk about a correction, this was a B wave, and then we've got a C wave now to the upside. Possible, right? Possible. So also here, it just needs to follow through to rule out at some point that we are here in some kind of a corrective wave pattern, but that is the bearish possibility. Yeah, so really what would be important is now to reach that third wave target, hold the fourth wave support there in white that I indicated, reach the wave 3 target, do the wave 4 and put the 5 in. Even then you only have 3 waves up off the low, so this could easily be an ABC. Only when you get this fourth and the fifth, then we can be much more confident about a low is in, which doesn't mean, again, you have to wait until then to trade it. The problem is we have a few weaknesses down here that don't give too much confidence, and the bearish divergence as well on the daily chart. Yeah, which is a bit annoying. The other possibility that we the other possibility that we have here, if we now retrace quite strongly, and you could say, okay, maybe this is just a diagonal pattern. We've got 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means maybe the next best option, the next bullish option that we have, if we drop below that wave 4 support, is that, and I'm going to label that, we have here a 1, here a 2, here a 3, here a 4 and a 5, leading diagonal. All of that would then be a wave 1, and we're coming down in wave 2 and could possibly touch that trend line again. This would be, in that case, yeah, if we don't put an impulse in place here, there is a fallback scenario where we will have support down here around the trend line, which is then the next best option for a possible long trade. And in diagonals, trend lines can be very, very helpful. Yeah, okay, and that's my update about Luxo. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.